He stares out the window like a young boy, as if the rain has deprived him of play, in the exact same way his soul stares through his eyes, confined, watching the world through blurry windows, just begging to be set free. Each morning I cook him a full English. 2 rashers of bacon, 2 sausages, toast, half a tin of baked beans, 1 large coffee, black, 2 sugars, and a glass of orange juice. I iron all his shirts. Gotta make sure he looks his best. Always have, really. I wonder how he managed before me. I've always loved this shirt, the way it fitted him, showed off those big, strong shoulders, and those arms. I loved when he'd pick me up, hold me tight. The greatest feeling in the world was falling asleep in the safety of his arms. He has this ridiculous notion that he's less of a man. He's far braver and more selfless than he'll ever know. But it's not a flaw, not an imperfection, not something that is going to change how I have felt about you the past 3 years. But he doesn't believe I could want him, not now. She reminds him of her. Rob gave that beautiful and talented little girl the gift of life. But here's the extraordinary thing. Given the choice again and knowing the consequences, you'd still save her, wouldn't you? What happened to you is heartbreaking, and I'd give anything to change it, but I can't. And you can tell me to find somebody new, but how could I? I had one heart to give, Rob, and I gave it to you. It's okay. For 3 years, I've wiped away his tears. I've held him in my arms as he wept, begging me to put him out of his misery. And it hurts so much. Strips you right down to the core, hangs you by your neck. And your instinct is to wriggle, find the surface beneath your feet. But deep down, you're really just waiting for the crack. But I have to be strong for both of us. March 10, 2014. I made a promise and I meant it. No one could give you more love than me. And yet your heart still yearns to break free, to run and jump, kiss and play, to hold a child of your own. But you never will. So what if you are right? What if I could give you the sun? I mean, in its entirety, in all its glory. And it's not going to come from perfectly cooked sausages, ironed shirts or sexy underwear. I love you. All it'll take is for me to let you go.
I think that Through Her Eyes had a very powerful message, because you don't actually think on a day-to-day basis that somebody who could have had these problems in their lives would really feel as if they were a burden on somebody else, and it really sort of makes you think. And my first time watching it made me very emotional, so I'm sure it made everybody else quite the same.
In regards to the Through Her Eyes episode, we decided to tackle the subject from the point of view of the carer. We thought it is an issue that's kind of often overlooked. Obviously, disability is an important issue which affects a lot of people. And we decided to go for the approach that the impact it also has on the family and the pressures that are put on the family to take care of the disabled friend or loved one. I think when you're tackling an important issue, first and foremost, obviously you have a duty to that issue, and hopefully you want to get that message across. And I think we did that successfully. And I think, as writers, there's always things that you would kind of change. I think that's just part of the process.
I think one of my favourite episodes was virtual reality, because I really thought that was from a young person's perspective. It was meeting somebody online, dating, and I think that really captured what is going on with young people at the moment.
Maria!
Ben?
You look different.
So do you.
Shall we go in? That is £3, 20, 40, 50, 4.55, £5 exactly.
You work in a bowling alley.
Yes,
How can you afford a Porsche?
overtime. So, what do you think of Damien Hirst? The artist?
Oh, him. He's...
What's Peru like?
I don't know. I've never been.
But you posted a photo of Machu Picchu.
Shall we sit somewhere else?
Is your name actually Maria?
You know what? You can talk. Look at me and my Porsche.
Art curator.
Well, wearing sunglasses and a baseball hat was sneaky because, under the disguise, you know Ryan Gosling.
And whose bum was that? In the gym photo? Because it certainly wasn't yours. Is there one due?
How should I know?
Do you want a plaster?
You've got one. What sort of bloke carries plasters around with him?
A runner. I'm training for a half marathon.
Me too.
How's your training going?
Not great. It's hard to stay motivated when you train on your own.
I'm going for a run tomorrow. Join me if you like.
Okay.
Do you want to go bowling?
Yeah. Anything to get into a pair of comfortable shoes?
Have a tea, please.
That'll be 110. I'll bring it over to you.
Sorry, I'm not finished with that.
Oh, okay. We are closing in 10 minutes. Come on, you're really gonna have to go now. We're closed. No, out.
I've not done anything.
I said out. I said out. Come on. Sorry about that, guys.
God bless.
Where you groping at?
150, please. And side, please. ID. Let's try, buddy. 150.
Some change, please. Spare some change, please. Spare some change.
Oh, Harry, you okay? I can see you. Haven't you grown? You never guess what happens to Iris. Nice to see you. Okay, you're through.
Hold on, wait. Please, can you help me, please?
I think over the last couple of years, homelessness has become an issue in Lancashire, and I think this episode really brings to light that and makes you think about it more.
Yeah, there's not a day that I walk down the high street and there's not people sitting on the street. So it is a very important topic, especially in Preston, and I'm glad that we've made it and that people will see it and hopefully learn something.
I was getting the train to work, and that train journey involved me walking across Liverpool city centre. And the amount of homeless people I seen travelling between two different train stations was shocking. The message in that particular story is about the homeless people who are people with personalities and identities, slowly losing that identity that we, and I'm as guilty as the next person, Sadly, we can't give to every homeless person we see on the street. But there are times when I've walked past them, and there is that thing of sometimes they can be invisible to the greater society.
So I think that Drama Bites was very successful because it is an audiovisual format. We'll get a lot of younger people to look at it and understand the topics that we're talking about with a bit more depth than if we were to sit and lecture them. With social media and the internet, and people just won't read, they want to see everything on a screen. and be entertained by it. But luckily, in the case of Drama Bites, not only will younger people be entertained, but they'll be informed on these pressing topics in the Lancashire area.
Yeah, I think it was done in quite a subtle way. It's not just there, you know, you've got it, there's underlying issues as well within the episodes. I think the only way you'd understand that is through, you know, audio visual, rather than reading something or, as Ethan said, somebody telling you.
I would consider the Drama Brights project a real success. I think if you look at the finished product, there's real quality, great production values, great scripts. I think as a writer, I think, you know, we always strive for perfection, but we never reach that. And I think that's good. There'll always be something, a line you'd want to change or maybe something. And I think that's good, because I think the day a writer becomes 100% happy with his work, I think you become complacent, really. I think you should always go back and reevaluate your work, and you'll always see something that you would change or whatever. But that's part of the learning process, and I think what that does is that thing that I said to you before, is that as a writer you never stop learning, and I think you take that on board for your next project. Our students, our screenwriting students who wrote the script, were invited on set, so it was great for them to be given the opportunity to see their words come to life, and also the processes around that of how you take a script and then you create this finished piece of drama.
I would definitely work on something like Drama Bites again if it was to be done in the future. It was quite intense, because I'd say 6 episodes over 3 weeks is quite a lot of work to do, but it was a great experience, and as I say, learning from lecturers and people already in the industry and seeing how they work on set was really beneficial to me and to my learning as well.
Yeah, I would definitely want to do it again. It was a great experience. There was a lot of pressure, even though I wasn't involved with the filming. I was inside an edit suite, and I just had to get things right and out on time. It was just a very professional atmosphere, a lot of talking backwards and forwards, and love to do it again.